Hello ladies and gentlemen, here to here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the RSD-10 Pioneer. The RSD-10 Pioneer was an intermediate range ballistic missile with a nuclear warhead deployed by the Soviet Union from the 1976 to 1988 timeframe. It carried the GRAU designation as the 15ZH-45. Its reporting name was the SS-20 Sabre. Its deployment was a major cause of NATO's double-track decision, which led to the deployment of more medium-range nuclear weapons in Western Europe. The RSD-10 was withdrawn from service under the 1987 Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. The missile used a MAZ-547A/MAZ-7916 transporter erector launcher, known as a TEL, produced in the Belarusian SSR by the Minsk automobile plant. The TEL was originally designed for the RT-21 Temp S/2S intercontinental ballistic missile. So yeah, the vehicle we have in front of us is really cool. This is our first ever actual mobile nuclear missile vehicle from Russia that we've done. So really cool to finally kind of explore the world of their TEL launchers and all that kind of stuff. So some really good stuff here and kind of a really good middle Cold War vehicle to add to our growing collection of builds. Now this tutorial is going to cover both the transient version and also the deployed version. So both of these will be built in the tutorial, and we'll be going ahead and talking about each one as we go. With that though, let's go and dive in here to take a look at the vehicle. Again, as I mentioned, this is built on the MAZ-547A vehicle chassis, and your missile system is what is known as the RSD-10 Pioneer. So going ahead and getting started with, we have the deployed version. So we have the truck here, pretty cool. Looking at pictures, there's unfortunately not a lot of pictures for it, but from what it seems like is it did raise itself off the ground quite a bit, which makes sense for these TEL launchers to create a more stable firing platform. So that is what we have here. It might be a little high, but unfortunately just with Minecraft and the way it is, we really can't do anything a little bit shorter. So I didn't want to show it elevated, so that is what we have going on there. We have the driver's compartment located here, very typical with their these Russian heavy trucks where they have a split kind of design to them. We then have the second position here. I believe this might be an operator or something like that. Definitely not the driver, just due to its more kind of push back here. Obviously the vents over the engines, all that fun stuff, nothing too crazy here. This here is basically the chassis of the vehicle, runs all the way down. This is where your missile kind of lays down flat in. On the side we got a bunch of boxes for different tools, so I'm sure electronics, all that kind of stuff mounted in the vehicle itself. That's on both sides of the vehicle, nothing too crazy. And then we have the erected missile silo here that would be able to open on the top and release the nuclear warhead if needed. So looking pretty good. And then we have the transit version here, which has the missile tube laid down and stored. So this just lays perfectly flat on the vehicle and is, designed for its transportation and moving around in the battlefield or wherever it's located at. So overall, really cool design for it. Should be a really cool build to add to your worlds. Again, this is our first ever kind of mobile missile launcher, so really happy to finally get a tutorial out for one of these, and hopefully we'll see many more here in the future. With that though, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get started here with our first layer. Now, one quick thing I do want to go ahead and mention here is that through this build, we're going to have a lot of asymmetry, so just make sure you're paying close attention to what's placed on both sides, especially in our front section. The rear section is pretty much symmetrical on both sides. However, this frontal section here is definitely going to be very different from each side, so just make sure you're paying close attention to that. In addition, if you do want to build this vehicle deployed, so with the missile launcher sticking upwards, you will want to make sure that this layer here, layer 1, sticks a block up from the ground level. So you can see here we have layer 1 that's on our model over here that basically sits one block up from the ground level. So again, just make sure that if you want to have this deployed, you build this basically a block up from the ground level. Very important to make sure that you have that started, because we're going to be just building the base vehicle and then adding our missile on from there. So again, just make sure that you're paying close attention to that and you have it positioned correctly. Anyways though, let's go ahead and begin. Now the first thing we want to go ahead and do here is we're going to place down a row of dark prismarine slabs. This row is going to go pretty much most of the length of the vehicle here, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 of these prismarine slabs back. I'm going to go and double check the count here, and it is going to be 21 in total. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and grab some stone brick slabs, and we're going to go ahead and grab some polished blackstone. We're going to go ahead and count back 1, 2, 3, and 4, and on our 5th block back, our 5th slab, we're going to place down a stone brick top slab at the side, and then one more top slab. We're going to place down polished blackstone upside down stair, a second stair on the back here, and we're going to do the same thing over here on this side as well. So it's going to look like this here. We can delete those blocks as we won't need them any further, and we should have a design that looks like this. Now we're going to go ahead and also grab a dark oak wood fence gate. We're going to place down a fence gate here in front of this wheel on the right side, open this toward the outside of the vehicle, and a dark oak wood sign. On the other side, we're going to go ahead and skip a space from this slab here, and we're going to go ahead and place down their dark oak wood fence gate, open this out to the side, and a dark oak wood sign like so. So this here is what it should look like on the front so far. We're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, and our 3rd prismarine slab back. We're going to place down our stone brick top slab to the sides. Same thing we did for the front here, our 2 polished blackstone brick stairs, back to back. We're going to go then again skip 1, 2, and our 3rd block back, a stone brick top slab to the side, a polished blackstone upside down stair, a second stair, and same thing over here. So just like that. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then skip 1, 2, 3, and our 4th slab back. We're going to place down a stone brick top slab out to the sides. This time a polished blackstone stair here, and an upside down stair behind it. Same thing over here. So like so. We're going to go ahead and count back 1, 2, and our 3rd one back. We're going to place down a stone brick top slab again to the sides. Upside down stair on both sides, and same thing over here. Like that. After that, we're going to go to our last slab here. Place down a stone brick top slab again to both sides, and a polished blackstone upside down stair going back from it. So just like that. And once you have that all done, that is going to conclude what we have there for layer 1. So here is a top-down view of what it should look like. Again, just make sure that if you are building this in the deployed stance, that you have this level raised a block off the ground. Anyways, though, that is going to conclude everything we have here for layer 1. And with that, let's move on to layer number 2. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we have layer number 2. Layer 2 here to start with, we're going to go to each one of our polished blackstone stairs, and we're going to, they're back to back, and we're going to go and put our stairs basically back to back on top of the upside down stairs. This here is just going to go and complete every single one of our wheels for the build, and we'll just go ahead and again do this for every single one of our wheels. So just like this, and like that, and you have your wheelbase, or your wheels complete. Now at this point, we're going to take a green terracotta block, and we're going to place it down on top of this dark prismarine top slab here. We're going to go ahead and then place down one more block going forward, followed by a fence gate, and we're going to have the fence gate open up toward the green terracotta block. We're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to run it down the center of the vehicle. So we have one block, or we have 2 blocks here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 green terracotta blocks back. I'm going to go ahead and double check my count real quick, and it should be 24 actually. So just make sure it's 24 in total going back. Now, after that is done, we're going to go ahead and grab some green stained glass panes and also some stone brick walls. On top of each one of our stone brick slabs, we're going to go ahead and place down stone brick walls. And then after that, we want to go ahead and place down a set of, or right here after the first axle, so the first axle's here, we're going to go ahead and place down a green terracotta block to the sides here. And we're going to go ahead and then place down a mossy cobblestone wall coming off those blocks. We're going to place down a green stained glass pane in this space here. Then we want to go ahead and place down 2 green stained glass panes. And then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 green stained glass panes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2 along these green terracotta blocks for the back here. Now, continuing along the sides here, for your jacks here, we're going to place a stone brick wall, or a mossy stone brick wall on this glass pane here in between the second and third axles. We're going to go to this middle glass pane. We're going to place down a green terracotta block to both sides, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a dark prismarine upside down stair to both sides. Then after that, on the very back here, we're going to go and grab our prismarine slabs again. We're going to place down a prismarine top slab coming off these glass panes to both sides. And then we want to place down our row of 3 across the glass panes and the green terracotta block. We're going to go then place down a mossy stone brick wall there in the corners. And after that, we're going to place down an item frame on these 2 slabs here, as well as we're going to go ahead and place down a red bed in the item frames and rotate them sideways like so for the tail lights here of the vehicle. And then we just want to place down a dark oak wood sign that's going to be on the side there of those walls, or on those stairs. So it's going to look something that looks just like that. Now, if you are actually going to leave that alone for right now, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But this right here is what you want for the taillights. Now, after that is done, that's going to complete the rear. We're going to go back up to the front. Now, going from this stone brick wall here, on the right side, we're going to place down a green stained glass pane. And then we want to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our top slabs of dark prismarine. On the other side, however, we're going to go ahead and grab our glass panes. We're going to place down 1 and 2 glass panes. And then on our second glass pane, we're going to go ahead and place down 1 out to the side. Come off this first glass pane, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks forward. And then on the outside here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block. Then a green shulker box sideways like so, and then another green terracotta block like that. We also want to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood fence gate coming off this slab here. We're going to go ahead and then place down a green terracotta block behind it, just like so. Then a dark oak wood trapdoor, or a fence gate, and then our dark oak wood fence gate right there. We're going to place down zombie heads coming off of fence gates right there like so. And we're also going to place down a fence gate on top of this one and have it opened up toward the outside. And like we did on the previous layer, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign on the side of it. After that is all done there, we're going to go ahead and then take our polished deep slate slabs. We're going to place down a top slab here coming off the fence gate and a top slab coming off this green terracotta block. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves item frames. We're going to place down an item frame coming off these 2 slabs, and in those item frames, we want to go ahead and place down some yellow stained glass panes, like so. We're also going to take some zombie heads. We're going to place down zombie heads on this side of these 2 blocks here, on the inside, and then on the outside here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood sign on the side of the slab. So it's going to be like that on both sides there for your front headlights. Also, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor on the side here of this green terracotta block, and also on the side of this one, like so. And after we have that all done, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have here for this layer. One thing we do also have here is the banners that are made here for the wheels. Now the banners here are pretty simple. I'm not going to go ahead and go into a loom to show you guys how to make them because they're really straightforward. All they are 2 black banners. We have a line of gray dye on the right side of one banner and a line of gray dye on the left side of the banner. Then we just have 2 black horizontal lines across the top and across the bottom for each banner, and that's all you need to make them. Really simple, and you can also change the color of the line to change the color of the kind of hubcap there of the wheel. But for us, we have our gray because it seems to be kind of the more standard color used for these launchers. But we have that gray design there, and we're going to place the banners like this so that the gray is facing toward each other. Just kind of helps clean up our wheels, makes them look a little bit more wheel-like, has a little bit more detail to them, and all that fun stuff. So again, this is going to be done to each one of our wheels on these stairs like so. And that right there is going to wrap up what we have here for layer 2. So again, just make sure everything is connected together properly so far. We have those differences on the front there, so just again make sure you are paying close attention to those differences. Anyways, again, here is a top-down view, and with that we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go ahead and begin with by placing down our mossy cobblestone walls on top of these 2 blocks here, and also on top of this zombie head here. After we have that done, over here on the left side, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 green terracotta blocks like so. 1 block here, and then a green shulker box coming off that block like so. We then want to place down another 2 green terracotta blocks, and then 1 more row 2 like that directly behind that. On the sides here, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor here, and a tripwire hook like so. If you're on Java, we can go ahead and place down a block that's going to come off the space from this wall like so, and we're going to go ahead and grab a lever. We're going to be going ahead and place down a lever on the side of this block, and we can use a debug stick. You can obtain a debug stick by typing the command /give @p minecraft :debug_stick and pressing enter. You'll get this glowing stick here. We're going to left click this lever, a couple times, selected facing. We're going to go and change this to the side that will connect this to the wall. So like that, your directions may vary, and do make sure to hold on to this stick as we will be using it a little bit later on in the build. An alternative to this would be to place down like a dark oak wood fence gate or something coming off that, and open it up toward the stair. After that's done though, we want to go ahead and then grab an iron bar. We're going to place down an iron bar here, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 deep slate blocks back, and then a deep slate tiles, and then another iron bar, and 2 deep slate blocks back. After that is all complete, we're going to go ahead and then place down a dark prismarine stair, like this in this spot here. And then over here, we're going to place down a flower pot that is going to sit on top of this block here. Then we want to place down a green terracotta block here, like we did for the previous layer. We're going to place down dark oak wood signs around the sides of it like so. Going up from the zombie heads, however, we are going to go ahead and place down some end rods. So we're going to place down an end rod here and an end rod right there. After that is done, we want to go ahead and then place down a prismarine top slab that's going to come off the side of this block here, and then we're just going to place down a dark oak wood sign on the side of it like so. Now after that is done, we're going to go ahead and then place down an anvil on the center like so, and then grabbing our dark prismarine stairs, we're going to place down 2 stairs here and 2 stairs here. So basically down the entire vehicle here, in between or where the stairs or the wheels correlate, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 prismarine stairs kind of on these glass panes or the stone brick walls. So it's going to be down the entire length of the vehicle, again at every single one of our wheels. And then once you get to this point here, we have our 5th axle. Our 5th axle is going to be a little bit different because right here we're going to place down a row of 5 of green terracotta. That's going to go across. Then we want to place down a dark prismarine stair on both sides there on the stone brick walls, and then we're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks back like that. Then we're going to place down 2 of our prismarine stairs that go back from there. So a little bit different there. Just make sure you transfer that over properly. After that's all done, we want to go ahead and then place down a green terracotta block here on these 2 blocks like so. We're also going to go and place down a green shulker box coming off those blocks going back, then a green terracotta block to both sides, and then a dark prismarine slab there in the center. We're also going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate that's going to come off these 2 shulker boxes like so. And we also want to go ahead and place down an acacia wood button on the sides of these shulker boxes like so. After we have that done, we're going to go and grab our prismarine stairs. We're going to place down a prismarine upside down stair here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 top slabs forward for your fenders. Just like that. Then after we have that done, we're going to place down 2 top slabs going forward from here. Then we want to place down 3 green terracotta blocks going forward. And these are going to have dark oak wood buttons on the sides here. So like that. In the middle here, we're also going to place down a row of 3 of end rods, like that on both sides. After that, we want to go ahead and then place down 2 top slabs going forward. Then another green shulker box that's going to be on top of the wall right there. And this is going to have an acacia wood button on the side of that. Then we're going to place down 2 top slabs forward again. And actually, this is going to be 3, 4, and 5. So 5 top slabs forward. And that'll be the same on both sides there, like that, to go ahead and form your fenders. And once you have that all done, that is going to do it for this layer. I don't think we're missing anything, and everything does appear to be good to go. Here is a top-down view of what it should look like. And once you have that all squared away, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 3 for the build. And with that, let's go ahead and move into layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer 4. Just a little reminder here is that we're going to be going ahead and building the main vehicle first. This is our main focus, and then after that, we're going to be going ahead and adding the missile in for the different versions and how that's going to be positioned. So just want to throw that out there just to make sure that everybody is still tracking that. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and get started here for layer 4. For layer 4, we're going to place down a total of 1, 2, and 3 black stained glass panes across the space here. You may need to replace this lever with your debug stick if you're on Java due to the block space above the wall being updated, and sometimes the lever will break. So just make sure you keep that in mind. We're going to go then place down a row 2 of black stained glass and a second row 2, and as you can see here, it did break again, so my apologies on that. Just go ahead and fix it as needed. After that, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row 2 across, a second row 2, a third row, and then a fourth row 2, going all the way across there. There are banners that are used on the side of the vehicle here. We will not be covering those banners until we get the whole build complete, and then we're going to go and talk about the banners all together later on. So just keep that in mind too. That's why we're skipping that for right now. Anyways, once we have that done, we're going to place down a barrier block. Now this can be obtained on Java by typing the command /give @p Minecraft : barrier, and it will give you this barrier block here. Now what it is a visible block that we can go ahead and attach items to. So we're going to attach levers on these 3 sides here and flick them so that they face downwards. If you're not in Java, I believe they're known as structure blocks or void blocks. You can use those instead as an alternative. Then we're going to place down an end rod on top of these ones here, and also an end rod on top of this iron bar here. We then want to go ahead and grab ourselves item frames and iron bars. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 item frames and iron bars in those item frames all over the engine like so, and also an item frame here with a iron bar. So it's going to look like that. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a mossy cobblestone wall on top of this block here, and then we're going to place down a green shulker box to the side of it. So we have a green shulker box, and we want to make sure it looks like that there, and then a trip bar hook coming off of it. We're going to go and place down 2 rows of 2 of green terracotta, and that right there is going to create that section like so. Now after that's done, along the side here of the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and place down on the right side 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks, and on these green terracotta blocks we're going to have dark oak with buttons. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to place down there a green terracotta block. This is going to be an item frame, and in that item frame we're going to go ahead and place down a black bed that's going to be facing upwards, and a dark oak wood sign over it if you're on Java. Again, just a little side note here, if you're on Java, you can place down item frames and signs in the same block space. If you're not on Java, you will not be able to. We're going to go and then place down a row of shulker boxes. We want to make sure that they're sideways so that the top of the shulker box is facing toward the outside, and we're going to place down a row of 3. Then a green terracotta block, one of our shulker boxes, green terracotta, 1, 2, and 3 green shulker boxes, a green terracotta, 2 green shulker boxes, green terracotta, and again a green shulker box here, and a green terracotta block. We're going to place down an item frame here, black bed, dark oak wood sign on the side here, and then a dark oak wood fence gate on the back. After that is all done, we want to go ahead and then place down a green terracotta block here, dark oak wood sign, item frame, black bed, and a dark oak wood sign on the side there of it. After that's done, we want to go ahead and then place down 2 green shulker box here, green terracotta, 2 green shulker boxes. So again, the same thing we did on the other side here. So if you need to, just look at the other side for reference. And we're going to go and take this all the way down the side here of the vehicle. So it will look like that there. Now once we get to this point here, we're going to place down 1 green terracotta block, and then we're going to place down a row of 2 mossy cobblestone walls, and then a green terracotta block there. So going to be a little bit different, so just make sure that you're paying close attention to that difference there. We also will have an item frame on the side of this green terracotta block, and a black bed and a dark oak wood sign on the side of it like so. And then in the center here of the vehicle, we also want to go ahead and go to this block here. We're going to place down a green terracotta block, and then a upside down prismarine stair to both sides of it like so. And once we have that all done right there, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 4 of the build. And again, here's a top-down view of what it should look like so far for our truck chassis. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to layer number 5. Moving into our next layer here, we have layers 5 and 6. These are going to actually be just our last final layers of the build, so we're going to be going ahead and wrapping up our truck in this this segment here. Anyways though, to begin with, we're going to go ahead and place down a daylight detector that's going to go on top of this glass pane here, and we're going to go ahead and place down 1 and 2 more backs. You have a total of 3 there. We're also going to place down green carpet on these 2 black stained glass blocks. After that, we're going to take our dark prismarine. We're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dark prismarine slabs back, and we're going to place down green carpet along the side there of those prismarine slabs. We're going to go then grab ourselves some zombie heads, and we're going to place down 2 zombie heads here on top of those walls, and then a green terracotta block. Now over here on the right side, we're going to go ahead and begin with by going ahead and placing down another brick stair that is going to go on top of the shulker box, and then a wither skeleton skull here to the side of it. We're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks back from that, and then we want to go and place down 2 green stained glass panes on the side of those blocks, so like that along the side. After that, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 dark prismarine slabs and a green terracotta block. After we have that done, we want to go and then place down an item frame here, a green terracotta block in the item frame, and then a dark oak wood sign on the side. And same thing will be done over here, item frame, green terracotta block, and a dark oak wood sign. After we have that all done, we want to go ahead and then continue on by taking our shulker boxes, and we're going to build 3 shulker boxes, just kind of going up from this point here. So just kind of building upon what we set up in the previous layer. So it's just going to go and be built up. And then on the first 2, we're going to place down dark oak wood buttons. We're going to place down a green terracotta block here. And then we have our green shulker box right here. And then we're going to have our segment of 3. So again, just kind of building off of what we set up in the previous layer. And it kind of, again, sucks placing these shulker boxes, but it is what it is. Part of the process here. And then we have our last shulker box here, like this, and then our green terracotta block on the end. Now, at this point here, on each one of these, besides this these 2 shulker boxes here, we're going to place down dark oak wood buttons on the side of the shulker boxes all the way down. We're also going to place down an item frame on the back here, green terracotta block in the item frame, dark oak wood sign if applicable, and a dark oak wood fence gate on the back of the block opened up toward it. Same thing will be done over here, green terracotta block, dark oak wood fence gate. We have our item frame, and our green terracotta, and our dark oak wood sign. And again, we're going to be doing the same thing with our shulker boxes, like so. So all the way down, and all that. Again, kind of tedious here with the shulker boxes and placing them the way we are, but just kind of is what it is. And boom, just like that, we have our shulker boxes in place, and we'll place down our green terracotta blocks. Again, we're going to do the first 2 shulker boxes here, skip these 2, and then dark oak buttons all along the side of the rest of them. Now, after that's done, on top of these, we're going to take our green carpet, and we're just going to run a row of green carpet on top of the shulker boxes and green terracotta blocks on both sides. And that right there is going to basically wrap it up there. And kind of some of the few last minor bits here are going to be up here in the front. We're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall that's going to go on top of that barrier or that structure block there, whichever you placed. And then on top of the end rods here, we're going to place down flower pots. So each end rod is going to get a flower pot on top of it. And then also on the very front here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame. We're going to place down an item frame on the side of that daylight detector and a snowball in the item frame, so it looks like that there. And that right there is going to basically complete what we have there for that. There are going to be a few things we're going to be covering, such as basically the banners. So we will be going ahead and covering those and talking a little bit about those, making the ones for the windows on the vehicle. In addition, we do have the numbering of the unit on the side of the vehicle. For us, we just did 485, which is again based off a real version. It's going to go on this banner, or on that shulker box, and that green terracotta and that shulker box there. And we can do this on both sides. You can do whatever 3-digit number you guys want. For us, this is just based off a real number, so that is why we went ahead and went with that. Again, you can go ahead and use whatever numbers you guys want. For us too, we have it in white, which seems to be kind of the standard design, as this one's a little bit kind of loosely based off of the parade type color scheme. Anyways, though, that is going to pretty much wrap up the vehicle here for the most part. We're going to go ahead and cover our banners real quick, and after we have our banners done, we'll be going ahead and moving into the different deployment ways you can have it. Alright guys, so moving into our banners here for the vehicle, these are the 2 banners we're going to be making. Pretty simple. Our first one here, we're going to need 2 black banners, 5 green dye, and 2 black dye for these 2 banners. First banner here, we're going to place down a black banner in the loom, as well as our green dye. We're going to go and select the line that's going to go vertically over here on the right side. So it's going to look like this here. And we're going to take that banner, put it back into our loom, and we're going to go and then do a line that goes horizontally across the bottom with our green dye, like so. So pretty simple, and that there is going to make our first banner, like so. Now our next banner here, a little bit more complicated, but really not too bad. We're going to go and start off by placing down a black banner into our loom, as well as our green dye. We're going to go and split the banner in half, kind of at an angle, so it's going to sit like this here. We want basically this design here. Grab that banner, put it back into our loom. We're going to go ahead and then take our black dye. We're going to go and split the black dye across the top here. So we're going to place down this line here, or rather, actually, we're going to go and split it in half. So we're on the black on top, so it splits in half like so. We're going to grab that, put that back into our loom, remove our black dye. We're going to place our green dye back in. We're going to do a border of green dye around, and then we want to do a green horizontal line across the center to make that design there. And actually, you need one less black dye. I was overestimated just by one, but real simple. The banners, we're just going to place them this more complicated banner on the side here for this window here. And then on the other side here, this banner is going to go right here on the side of this block. So pretty straightforward stuff. Really nothing too complex there for the banners. But once you have those all done, that is going to complete the MAZ-547A. And at this point in time, we'll be going ahead and now moving into the different versions of the truck, starting with our transit version. Moving on to our transit version, we'll be going ahead and basically building the missile silo, so therefore it's folded down and laying in the truck. If you do want to build the deployed version, go ahead and look at the video time bar. You can go and skip ahead to the next segment, or you can look at the video description, and there will be timestamps so you can go and jump to if you are wanting to build that version over the transit version. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and dive into this. Now, the first thing we need to do here is we need to actually build some of the structure that the missile silo is actually going to sit on. This is going to be done by going ahead and beginning by going to this wall here. We're going to place down 3 prismarine top slabs across. Then we're going to go ahead and go to this circle box here. Again, 3 top slabs across. This green terracotta block here, 3 top slabs across. And then we're going to go all the way back here to this top slab again, 3 top slabs across. And right here as well, this green terracotta block, 3 top slabs across. Now, once we have that all set up there, we're going to go ahead and then place down zombie heads. So I think I have some up here. We're going to grab zombie heads, and we're actually going to go ahead and just sit these along the side of the blocks. So in between our blocks here, we're going to go ahead and just place down zombie heads all the way along the side here, all the way to this point here, so this last shulker box. So all the way along the side here, like so. And that's going to kind of form that structure that our missile silo is going to sit on. Now in the back here, we do also have these little stands, and these stands are kind of cool. They are stored like this, but they actually pull them off, and they actually put them underneath here, and the jacks actually jack into them. So it's kind of interesting and how they did that. But yeah, so that's right there, and they're going to be stored in the back here. So for this, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall to both sides, a dark prismarine stair coming off those walls, and then we want to go and drop down from the stairs. All right, so going ahead and going from these stairs here, we're going to go and drop down at an angle from them with our green terracotta blocks, and we want to go ahead and then place down a lever that's going to come off the side here of these blocks on the inside, like so. After we have that done, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall on the tops, the sides, and the bottoms of these green terracotta blocks. So it's going to look like that there. We're going to go ahead and then place down green stained glass panes around the walls. So just like this, to go ahead and create those stands there. And that's going to create something that looks like that there for the back. After you have that all done, that's pretty much all we really need to do in preparation for this portion of the build. And with that, we're going to go and jump right into putting our missile silo on. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and move into the missile silo. For the missile silo here, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a green terracotta block that is going to basically come off of that that carpet right there. And we have the green terracotta block placed. We're going to go ahead and go 1 forward, and then we're going to place down a quartz block, and then a red concrete block, and a red nether brick upside down stair. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to go and take our green terracotta, we're going to build down the center. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to stop at 6 more after that. We're going to go ahead and then place down another smooth quartz block. Again, taking our green terracotta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a smooth quartz block again. Then we have a green terracotta, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, green terracotta, and another smooth quartz block on the very end after that row. We're going to go ahead and place down a quartz upside down stair on each side of our quartz full blocks. And we're going to do that all the way like that. On the side of our red concrete, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, a red nether brick upside down stair. And then in the space between our quartz upside down stairs, we're going to go ahead and place down our upside down prismarine stairs. Now you may have to delete like a flower pot here, the skull right there, these glass panes to make room for these stairs. Same thing over here. You will have to delete those carpets, and just kind of part of the way the structure of this thing is and how it sits. Unfortunately, we have to get rid of some of those little details there to make the missile work. So again, we're going to be doing this on both sides here, just taking our prismarine stairs all the way down the sides here, filling in the spaces. And again, make sure that your stairs are upside down the entire way. So just like that. Now after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of smooth quartz on top of your smooth quartz. So again, we're just going to go and take this up by 1 right there. And on the front here, we're going to place down a row of 3 red concrete, 1 red concrete block here on the front, and then a red brick wall to both sides here. If you are on Java, I would recommend placing down a red stained glass pane here and using your debug stick. So the tool we used earlier to actually extend the glass panes out to the side, or the sides of the panes out to the sides there, kind of helps round off the top of the missile a little bit better. You don't really need to do it, but I just think it has that nice little top to it that you can't do on other versions. We're going to go ahead and take our green terracotta. We're going to place down our rows of 3 of green terracotta now across the prismarine stairs, and green terracotta from the previous row, just kind of again doing these layers of 3 all the way down the side here of the missile. So it will basically look something like this here. Now after that's done, we're going to do the same thing we did for the first part of the missile. We have our quartz stair to both sides, and we're going to be doing this all the way down the entire way. So we're going to again do our quartz first, like so. And on the front here we have a red concrete, red nether brick stair on the 3 sides like that. And then again, we're going to take our green terracotta, fill in the center space here, all the way down. And then we just have our prismarine stairs. Like so, and that side's complete, and this side over here. And just like that, we have that all done there for the main portion of the silo. Now, after that's done, we do want to go ahead and grab ourselves some green terracotta. We're going to go and go to the side up here on top of this wall. We're going to place down a green terracotta block and then a mossy cobblestone wall back from it. We also want to go ahead and place down a ladder that's going to come off the side of that block. And that's going to be on the right side only. And then also, we're going to place down a zombie head coming off this dark prismarine stair right there. After that's done, on the other side, we have a bit of a different design here that we have to do. So this here, we're going to start with a wither skeleton skull, then a normal skeleton skull, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zombie heads along the side. We're going to continue on with our skeleton skull, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zombie heads across the side here. Then we want to place down a skeleton skull, and then 1 zombie head. This section here, we're going to place down a dark prismarine stair. And we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall that goes down from it. So we will delete this carpet here, and we have our mossy cobblestone wall. And the stair behind this, or behind the stair here, is going to be replaced with a green terracotta block. Then after that, we're going to go and skip 1, 2, and on your third space here, you're going to go and place down a green terracotta block instead of a stair, prismarine stair, and a mossy cobblestone wall underneath it, like so. And then after that, we're just going to place down 2 more green zombie heads back and a skeleton skull, like so. Now, once that's all complete there, we also want to grab our mossy cobblestone walls, and on the third green terracotta block right here, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall, and then 1, 2, 3 back from it, so you have a total of 4. After that's all done there, we're going to go ahead and then focus our attention here to the back of the missile. So what I went ahead and did here for this is I used the waxed weathered copper, and I went ahead and placed down 1, 2, 3 blocks here down the center. On top here, I went ahead and used pistons. We will be going ahead and modify these using a tool called a debug stick. So if you don't have access to the debug stick, so if you're not in Java, then I would recommend using just the waxed cut copper slabs. And then on the bottom here, we're going to do the same thing here with our pistons. So like that. Then we're going to go and take our mossy stone brick walls and place them to the sides. And we're going to go ahead and then place down zombie heads here to the sides of these pistons. And if you are not on Java, I recommend just doing a row of zombie heads all the way across. If you are on Java, we can place down a lever on the side of the piston. Rather, we're just gonna place down our zombie heads. So we're just gonna do zombie heads all the way across there, like so. Now, after that's done, we can take our debug stick and we can go ahead and then left-click the piston until we get selected extended false. Right-click it, set it to true, and it gets rid of that wood portion and just kind of helps create a nice look there for the base where our fumes and the rocket and all that stuff would be propelled out of. And once we have that all done right there, that is going to complete the transit version of the RSD-10 Pioneer or Pioneer. Overall, pretty cool looking design for it, pretty straightforward and easy stuff. Next, we're going to be going ahead and moving on to the deployed version. So those of you that do want to have the missile silo kind of facing upwards, we're going to be going ahead and covering how to do that next. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and move on to the deployed version of the vehicle. Moving into the deployed version of the vehicle, we have our missile pod standing straight up, and that is what we're going to be going ahead and doing on this vehicle. Now again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, you do want to make sure your vehicle here is currently sitting a block off from the ground. So you can see we have a block of space between our wheels and the ground level. Very important to make sure that's correct for going any further. So just make sure that's all good, and once you're confirmed that's good, we can go ahead and get started here. Now the first thing we're going to go ahead and work on here is going to be our jacks of the vehicle. Jacks here are pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and just place down a birchwood fence post coming down from this wall here. So we have this wall between axles 2 and 3. And then we have our green terracotta block here on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and place down zombie heads around the blocks, or on the blocks around the green terracotta, to kind of go ahead and create that base there. And the same thing will be done over here on this side. So we're just going to go ahead and again add the same thing all around it, like so. Make sure they're on the ground. And those are going to be your front jacks. The rear one's a little bit bigger, but not any more complicated. We're going to place down a fence post that comes down from these mossy cobblestone walls on the back here. And then we're going to place down a green terracotta block on the bottom of those. Then a dark prismarine slab to all 4 sides. And after we have that done, we're going to go ahead and place down a zombie head at about a 45-degree angle there in the corners. So we're going to go and take this all the way around, like so. And just like that. So that right there is going to wrap that up there on the back, and it's going to look like that. So with that all done there, that's our jacks all complete, and we can go ahead and kind of start working on getting our missile silo set up. So for this, what we're going to do here is we're going to place down a prismarine slab on top of these ones here, and then we want to place down a mossy cobblestone wall that's going to come off those slabs like that. We're going to go ahead and then go up with our mossy cobblestone walls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 walls. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of green terracotta. We also want to go ahead and go to the second walls. We're going to place down a mossy wall between them, and then this wall's right up here, so the third from the top, we're going to place down a strut across there. We're also going to place down a dark prismarine stair that comes down from that green terracotta block there. Then another prismarine stair, like so. And then we're going to grab our stone brick walls. We're going to place down 2 stone brick walls that come down, and we're going to go and bring this down at an angle all the way down to this point. And then we're going to place down an anvil that is going to sit right here, and a stone brick wall on top of it, like that, for the lift mechanism there. After that's done, we're going to take our mossy cobblestone walls. We're going to go up 1, 2 on each side, and then, actually, sorry, 3 up, and then we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall across the middle there. We're going to go up 1, 2, and 3 more. Again, another strut across, and then again, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3, and then another mossy cobblestone wall across like that to go ahead and form the tower there. Now, after that's done, we pretty much just have our missile really to do, or our silo. So for our silo here, we're going to place down a quartz full block in this base here. We're going to go ahead and place down a glass pane to the sides of it, and then a row 3 of our quartz, another quartz block here, and another glass pane in the corners. We're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or sorry, just 8 blocks. And we're going to go ahead and build this all up. 8 with our green terracotta. And again, we'll be using glass panes here in the corners as well. So just like that, and that's going to be the first segment there. Then we're going to go ahead and do another line of our quartz. So again, the same thing we did before. And again, we have our quartz, our white stained glass panes here in the corners. Then we're going to take our green terracotta. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this time. And again, we're going to take our green terracotta blocks up. And we have our green stained glass panes. Like that. And then we have our next line here that's going to be another quartz segment or another white segment. Then we have a green terracotta. We're going to go ahead and again go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And again, we're going to be doing the same thing we've been doing. Just build this all up 7 rows. So just like that, and we have that built up. One quick thing also is that on the side of on the right side of the silo, we're going to go ahead and go to the 4th block up. We're going to place down a stair to the side, a green terracotta block, and a ladder on the side there as well. Then on the top here, we're going to go ahead and place down another segment of quartz. So we have our smooth quartz like so, a white stained glass pane in the corners. So like this. And then we're going to go ahead and have our red concrete. So we're going to place down 2 red concrete blocks up, one around the base here, red stained glass panes in the corners, and then we want to place down a red nether brick stair on the sides of the top one, and then a daylight detector on the very top to go ahead and complete the top there of the silo. Now after that is done there, we're going to be going ahead and grabbing our zombie heads and our skeleton skulls and wither skeleton skulls, and all the way from the top here, this glass pane, here, we're going to go ahead and place down our alternating skulls all the way down. So again, green for zombie heads for green, skeleton skulls for white, and wither skeleton skulls for red. So whatever color those glass panes are, that is the color we're going to place down for our skulls. And it's going to go all the way down to the bottom. We also want to go ahead and grab some mossy cobblestone walls, and on the second one from the top, we're going to place down a wall here, then 1, 2, 3 up, so a total of 4 there. After we have that all done there, really all that's left here is to go ahead and do our base. So the base here, we're going to be going ahead and using the same thing we did before, the wax weather, or weathered cut copper. We're going to go down a total of 3. If you're on Java, we're going to be going ahead and using pistons around all the sides. If you're not on Java, you can go ahead and use mossy stone brick walls as an alternative. But pistons here, again, are going to be the better option. And we're going to then place down zombie heads here on the side of those pistons. So it's going to look like that there. And then all we're going to do here is take our debug stick, and like we did before for my Java players, we're just going to go ahead and right click these like so. And go ahead and get rid of that wood portion. So it's going to look just like that. And after you have that all done, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for the deploy version. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, and everything does appear to be pretty solid and good to go. So yeah, that right there is going to complete the deployed version. And with that, that is going to wrap up my tutorial here for both the transit and deployed version of the RSD-10 Pioneer built on the MAZ-547A Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you guys do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This will be linked from a sound the build, tweet to my channel or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for a project you guys are working on. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been your 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.